America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President, Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin that's hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. We just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
I want to bring in Annalise Nielsen now, Paul Murray, Trudy McIntosh. Annalise, first to you. He did struggle to get to it. It was as if to confirm that this was a decision he made to stand aside that should have been made months ago. He appeared more frail. He appeared to struggle through that at times. And look, frankly, it looks like that his team has had to put a lot of makeup on him just to seem like he's got a bit of bounce back.
Yeah, look, It had all the hallmarks of a resignation speech without the resignation, and it seemed like he was more resigned to his fate but not going anywhere, which I think is probably where we are now. He said he's going to be there for another 6 months, and I don't disagree with you at all. That really sounded like he was struggling to get through that, and at a few moments I simply couldn't understand what he was saying. And this is not in isolation. I say this again because we've been saying it for the last few years. This is not a bad day. He has a stutter. We forgive the stutter. We all misspeak sometimes, but this has been a consistent pattern of behaviour for a long time, and I don't think anyone's going to be looking at that with much confidence. And then the flip side of that is, and what we're hearing a lot from especially Republicans on Capitol Hill, is they're saying our adversaries are watching this, and this looks like a weak moment for America right now. It looks like a vulnerable moment, and that's going to be the discussion over the next few months. Depending on how much we see him, he might really just go back to not doing much media. Why does he have to if he's not running again? We might just start seeing a lot more of Kamala.
Yeah, I think we will be. And after that performance, you take your mind back to the debate, the subsequent interviews that were meant to alleviate any concerns. That did nothing. And I think even this performance today, Paul, he looked even more frail than he did a couple of weeks ago. Yes, he has had COVID. He's just come out of isolation. We saw him quite unsteady on his feet as he arrived back at the White House yesterday. But this is not going to help him in any way in terms of his political opponents saying, well, if it's not right for you to run for a second term, how can you be okay to run even for this next 6 months till January?
He was a weak, diminished and pathetic figure. We understand what has been happening, and we understand that emotionally for anyone to give up a dream job is a difficult thing to do. You saw in what he said that I deserve a second term. However, I've decided to unite my party, and therefore to unite my party, that's all he says. He doesn't say, I'm therefore getting out of the way. Instead, it's the pass the torch stuff. But that was a white knuckle ride. Is he going to finish the sentence? Is he going to finish the word? And I don't say that as hyperbole about a person who, if I had a vote, would never have voted for him. That was frightening to watch. That is the President of the United States who still has all the power of the presidency until January 20 of next year. Now, I know there's political consequences if Harris becomes the president and running against the sitting president, blah, blah, blah. But he also turned around and said that what he wanted to do in the next 6 months was to have Supreme Court reform. Now, that is something that is like at one of the tippy top of the Democratic left shopping lists. Yeah. He's not going to be able to advocate for that or to fight for that. So what you saw was the battle between the ego of the man, the desperation of the people around him, the lie that we have been told increasingly as his health has deteriorated, and an inability to match the moment. This was frightening.